Take a look around you. I bet you'll find a couple things that are connected to the internet, even things that don't really need to. I'm not talking about your phone or your computer. Refrigerators, light bulbs, toothbrushes, toasters, and even underwear for some reason.
It's a bra.
All connected all the time. When everything is always online and connected, we're never really offline. A day where there's no notification, no screens, just the sound of birds and books doesn't seem normal anymore. And most importantly, in a world that has accepted being always online as the default, can we afford to go offline anymore? Stay tuned, because that's exactly what we're going to find out in this video, because going offline may have become a luxury that we can't afford anymore. Here's a scenario. You suddenly wake up one day and decide to disconnect from everything online. No smartphone, no computer, no smartwatch, nothing. Not as a productivity hack or a detox, but just to experience life. Seems quite impossible, right? Well, a researcher named Andres Lucero did exactly this. He took a break from his smartphone for nearly over a decade and documented everything that happened. The most interesting thing that he found happened was that life did not collapse as he thought it would. It just adjusted. Social plans happened differently, travel required some planning, work assumed some delays, but being unreachable didn't become a moral failure. This was because his system now didn't expect constant connectivity, and that is the key thing we have quietly lost. For most of modern history, being offline wasn't a choice, it was the default. We didn't have to log off to live, we just did. We caught up in person, missed calls without anyone panicking. Our presence wasn't being tracked by a green dot or a last seen stamp. Being offline wasn't seen as something rebellious. It wasn't a desirable aesthetic. It wasn't labeled as self-care. It was the norm, and the world around us was designed to support it. But that didn't last, and the world that supported being offline started to punish it. Here's why. The digital life we live today, constant notifications, screens that follow us everywhere, even into our bathrooms. It isn't only about being reachable at all times. There's actually a deeper reason why digital life feels inescapable. It's the data. Every tap, every swipe, every location ping, every heartbeat measured. These aren't just interactions. That's raw material. Modern systems don't just connect us, they record us. This extreme form of data capturing is termed life logging. The automatic recording of daily life through devices that quietly log where we go, who we interact with, and how we behave. And here's the unsettling bit. We don't opt for this intentionally. Our phone, our watch, our apps already do it. Our attention becomes a data pipeline, and when a system depends on continuous data, it designs life to make offline feel inconvenient. This is because offline breaks tracking, prediction, personalization, and monetization. So the inconvenience we feel when being offline isn't accidental but structural. The system doesn't just want us connected, it wants us continuously observable. This is why going offline is more than just wanting rest. It's about stepping outside of a system, freedom from a system that continuously monitors our every step. And what happens when freedom becomes a desirable aesthetic? The market sells it back to you. As the world got more and more connected, it led to every spare moment getting filled with input. The convenience we were sold became overload. Our human brains weren't built for this. The endless information creates decision fatigue. Social feeds fuel FOMO and anxiety. Our attention spans started to shrink, and burnout became common among people. We started getting more and more tired. Not "I want my beauty sleep" tired, but a system level tired started to creep in. This digital fatigue fatigue, stress, and cognitive overload created a paradox. The more technology promised convenience, the more people wanted distance from it. Even in the busiest of cities, this shift was felt. Cafes without internet started popping up, paper planners returned, screen-free spaces become desirable, denoting a general mentality shift in people. Silence became precious, being unreachable became a choice, and being offline went from normal to desirable. As being offline became scarce, it also made it more valuable. People who were tired of the digital fatigue were even willing to pay for an escape, and this is where being offline was sold to us as a premium experience. Wellness retreats, off-grid cabins, and no-phone experiences all started to sell the same thing. But the problem with these experiences is that it costs a lot of money. It requires time off work and permission from social norms. But this is only for the ones who could afford such a thing. What about the others who can't? Surely they have the option to just disconnect when they want to, right? Well, I hate to say this, but no, it's not that easy. This is why. So, how hard is it to actually disconnect from the internet? Turn off the Wi-Fi, put the smartphone on airplane mode, and we're basically done. As easy as pushing a button. But can you do it right now? I don't think so. This is because going offline isn't impossible, it's unsupported. It's like studying in Hogwarts but without having any magic. You can do it, but everything around you punishes the attempt. The digital world that we live in behaves the same way. We could go offline, but our work assumes instant connectivity or messages pile up. Services require apps. Social life moves on without us. So, when we say we can't go offline, what we really mean is that the world around us won't let it. The phrase offline is the new luxury sounds insightful, but it doesn't describe the real problem. This is why just log off also sounds easy but is just being naive. Neither fully encompasses what the actual reality is. Being offline didn't disappear. It didn't become a luxury. It just stopped being convenient. Somewhere along the way, everything got redesigned around being online. Work, services, relationships. Being constantly online became the default, and being offline meant breaking workflows, breaking expectations, and breaking algorithms. The system moved on, and when tiredness crept in, the market started to sell offline as an escape back to us. Because being able to disconnect didn't fit into everyday life. Sort of like how exercise is something we take some time off our busy lives to do, which wasn't always something we did separately because the amount of work we did throughout the day was enough. So the problem we have now isn't bad discipline, and the solution isn't logging off. The shift that happened is structural. The default state of being offline became an exception, and being online went from being a tool to being the environment itself, and the ability to be unreachable without consequences became a status symbol which only a handful can afford. So, what do you think about this video? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Hit that like button if you're tired of constantly being online as well. Subscribe for more videos like this, and I'll see you in the next one.